Let's walk through the process of measuring for PVC exterior window shutters. Measuring requires minimal time and basic equipment, including a steel tape measure, sturdy ladder, notepad, and pencil to record your measurements. PVC shutters are technologically formulated with co-extruded polymers for impeccable strength, dimensional stability, and unrivaled beauty. Select from multiple styles in an unlimited range of paint colors. Louvered and solid panel shutters are constructed to the 1/4 inch in both width and height, while board and batten shutters are limited in the number of widths available. PVC Bahama shutters are also available, but require a different measuring procedure. See our video on how to measure for Bahama shutters. There are 2 methods that can be used to install PVC shutters on an exterior window, and each requires a slightly different approach to measuring. Later, we will provide instruction to measure for stationary shutters in a fixed position next to the window. But first, we will discuss measuring for functional shutters that utilize hinges that allow shutters beside the window to swing or pivot to cover the window opening. Functional hardware can enhance the overall appearance and is sometimes preferred by homeowners even though the shutters may never be closed. Measure the window opening depth. If that dimension is greater than 1¼ inch and you want the closed shutters to nest inside of the opening, measure the width from inside edge to inside edge. Measure in 3 places and note the smallest of these dimensions. Subtract the amount needed for clearance. We suggest 1/4 inch on each side and 1/4 inch between the shutters. Divide that measurement by 2 for the individual shutter width. Next, measure from the top of the window opening to the bottom of the opening. Deduct a slight amount for clearance, and that will become your shutter height. We suggest 1/4 inch gap between the window and shutter at both the top and bottom. Shallow windows will not allow for the shutters to nest inside the opening. Therefore, the shutters will install to close in front of the window casing. Measure the width of the window beyond the opening on either side by at least 1/2 inch. For this installation, we have opted for the shutters to align with the outside edge of the molding. Subtract a small amount for clearance between the shutters, no more than 1/4 inch, and divide that measurement in half to calculate the individual shutter width. Occasionally, an obstacle can prevent shutters from being used on both sides of the window. It is perfectly acceptable to use a full-width shutter installed on one side of the window. The shutter height should overlap the window opening by at least 1/2 inch on both the top and bottom. For this installation, we have again chosen to align the shutter height with the top and bottom of the molding. PVC shutters can be made with louvers or a solid panel area that extends from the top rail down to the bottom rail. A divider rail separates the area into top and bottom sections. Specify the division point for the divider rail by providing the measurement from the bottom of the shutter to the desired center of the divider. Standard surface mount strap hinges and New York-style L-shaped hinges are commonly used to install PVC shutters. The pintle segments of the hinge attach to the structure outside of the window opening. If the shutters will shut to the inside of a recessed opening, locate the pintle as close to the opening as possible. The strap components slide over the top of the pintles and screw into the top and bottom rails of the shutters. Hinges used to install inset shutters have equal pintle and hinge offsets. Once fully installed, shutters are able to swing open to the side of the window. Throw is the distance from the base of the pintle to the back of the shutter when open. It is equal to the sum of the 2 offsets. In some situations, a larger throw is needed to swing clear of an obstruction. Take the appropriate measurements to determine that requirement. Shutters that hang in front of the window need a pintle offset larger than the strap offset, with a difference of at least the shutter thickness. PVC shutters weigh about 3.5 pounds per square foot. So, it is recommended to install with 3 or more hinges when the shutters are less than 84 inches in height, and 4 or more hinges when the shutters exceed that height. Smaller shutters, like the ones in this video, are sufficiently supported with just 2 hinges. Shutter dogs are used to hold shutters in an open position. They rotate to release the shutters, allowing them to close. Stationary shutter measurements are slightly more forgiving because the shutters don't need to operate. Measure the window width from the far left of the trim to the same point on the opposite side. Divide that measurement by 2 for the approximate shutter width. Ideally, the width of fixed exterior shutters should equal half of the window to replicate the appearance of operable shutters. Limitations of the mounting surface may necessitate ordering a slightly smaller size than ideal. Occasionally, an obstacle can prevent shutters from being used on both sides of the window. It's perfectly acceptable to use a full-width shutter installed on one side of the window. Wide windows require appropriately sized shutters, which in concept should also match the window width. Some windows are simply too wide to conform to standard guidelines and can't accommodate full-width shutters. Don't arbitrarily choose a width, but attempt to realistically stay within the easily divisible proportions of the window. Historically, shutter heights have aligned with the window opening. This approach can cause the shutters to appear short in comparison. In the modern era, shutters installed purely for aesthetics are more frequently made to the same height as the window casing to give greater symmetry to the presentation. Select the dimension that best reflects the character of your windows. Stationary PVC shutters install with polycarbonate V-shaped fixed mounting brackets. One side attaches to the building with long stainless steel screws. Shorter screws secure the shutter in place. Record all dimensions. Note that PVC shutters are sold individually, so you can order just one if necessary. Label each with a window location. Measure all windows to assure accuracy, and don't assume similar windows are the exact same size. This is also a great time to select the shutter finish color, matching to the trim paint or the front door. PVC shutters are sold unfinished or factory painted. Choose from standard colors listed online, or provide your own custom color. Once your PVC shutters are delivered, check out our installation video for helpful tips to get your shutters up safely and efficiently. Visit us at shutterland.com for shutter specifications, pricing, and ordering.